Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I'm the manager of a team called the Swindon Swoodly Poopers, and today we're wearing all white to symbolize our surrender. We are not going to win this game, I don't think. And in fact, we aren't really trying to win this game because tomorrow, literally and figuratively, we play the FA Cup final. The finals of the FA Cup. A cup you will remember that we won by beating Chelsea heroically in penalties when Fat Lucas scared two of their players into missing penalties. And tomorrow, we will take on Manchester City. Manchester City, a club that believes that you can buy heart. We're going to take Manchester City on in the FA Cup final at Wembley, and if you believe that I'm going there with a tired club, you're wrong. So for the second consecutive game, I will be starting both Ricardo Bunsen-Berna and Fat Lucas in the outfield, even though they play goal, and playing goal today will be big, small, short, tall, defender, goalkeeper, one size fits all. That's right. We're playing one size fits all up front. In fact, everybody playing today is on the B team except for Leroy Williamson. We're essentially counting on Leroy Williamson to win this game for us. And do I believe that he can do it? No. No, I don't. However, I'm excited about the challenge. I mean, look at... I will say that our keepers, because they are the only people on our team who are not absolutely exhausted, are really playing quite well. Oh... I thought he was going to get off a shot there. He wouldn't have scored or anything, but it would have been nice to see. That is not a foul. Are you seriously? You're going to give me the "don't do that again, you were naughty" hands just because of that? That's nothing. I want to prepare you today for the FA Cup final by introducing you to Manchester City. Now, I know there are a lot of Manchester City supporters who are also Swoodly Hooper supporters, and I hope that you won't take any of this personally, but I'm going to tell you the story of Manchester City, which is that they were an okay football team, and then they got bought by a sheikh, and they became a very good football team by buying all of the players in the world. When I say that they bought all the players in the world, I mean that they bought all the players in the world. There are no players who play soccer not currently playing for Manchester City. It is an amazing story of what, oh boy, of what money can and cannot buy. That was a really bad shot, and thank goodness, because one size fits all did not look terribly qualified to do anything about it. So yeah, it's basically Manchester City. I mean, look, they are they more likable than Manchester United? Sure, absolutely. But I find them difficult to root for. Oh, great tackle there. I don't know who made it, but it was fantastic. I find them difficult to root for because I believe in fair play and scrappy little teams. Well, I guess I'm a Liverpool supporter, so I shouldn't say that since we spent £35 million on Andy Carroll. But I do believe in scrappy little teams that shock the world, like Swindon Town, which, by the way, the actual Swindon Town, here's a great fact. The actual Swindon Town, the real-life Swindon Town, they are, it looks like, going to win League Two, which means that next year they will again be playing in League One football, where it all started for these Swoodly Poopers. And so I'm proud, I'm really proud of the actual Swindon Town, the Robins, who, great job, Fitzhall. I don't know if you made the save or if you just scared him. You just scared him, but that's all they needed. That was some great jumping for a guy who's not a goalkeeper. As you can see, though, we are getting very little possession, getting muscled out of pretty much everything. I mean, maybe we need to have the keepers as defenders instead of having them as midfielders. I don't know, but we're not playing well. I mean, we are playing Aston Villa. They're pretty good. So, not in the current Premier League, but they're pretty good in this game. So we have to. I don't want to make it out to be a David versus Goliath thing, but you have to understand, Manchester City right now are at the top of the Barclays Premier League, both if you consider the one in this game and the one in real life. As Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers in real life are in League 2, although about to be in League 1, hopefully. And our Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers are in 17th in the Premier League, only 5 points clear of the relegation zone, which should be enough with 3 to play, although we've had a terrible, terrible, terrible second half of the season. It's because we've been so tired. Our guys, they're just exhausted. Look at this unnecessarily slide tackling, all kinds of business. Ricardo Bunsen-Berna, just not that good on the ball. And then Beefstock taking it out wide. He's got nothing. Look how tired. Oh, Schmergaberg. Oh, everybody's just so exhausted. Look at this. Look at these boys. That was great. That's a great tackle. What? Did I get a yellow card for being good looking? I don't understand. This is a stupid game. It's not fair. Oh boy, fits all. One size fits all. Stopping a breakaway like a boss. Oh, he's not very good at kicking. It's almost like he's not a goalkeeper. So, anyway, come on, guys. Can we get a 0-0 draw out of this game? I think that would be a victory, you gotta say. Still no great 0-0 draw song. I'm waiting, Swoodly Pooper supporters. Yeah, so in the second half, I'm going to tell you about what's been going on in the locker room and why you should be supporting the Swoodly Poopers. All right, so Manchester City has a single player, Carlos Tevez, who makes more, and this is completely true, more every week than the entire Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers roster, our starters, our substitutes, and our 3 reserves. He makes more than our entire roster combined every week. Carlos Tevez does. Oh, great save from Fitz Hall, and we cleared it out. Not only that, but he didn't even play for 5 months because the coach wanted to bring him on as a substitute, and he refused to play. He refused to come on. Let me tell you how often that's happened in the history of the Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers. These guys, some of whom are getting paid $3,000 a week to play in the Premier League. It's happened never. It's happened exactly never. When I call on Ramsden, when I say, Fat Lucas, I need you to play midfield today, even though I know you're a goalkeeper and you're a little bit overweight. You know what he says? Thank you for the opportunity, coach. And he gets out there and he plays in the midfield. That's guts right there. And that's what the Manchester City side hasn't had this season. And so it is a David and Goliath situation. But the reason I believe that we can win is because David, you will recall, also won. And so there's no reason why we can't. Oh, schmoogaboog. One size fits all made him push it wide. Whew, we might need to make some substitutions here. We are looking terrible. Of course, we can't change any of the players who are playing because I need all of my other players rested. Yeah, I'm not. See, they're still not up to health. You see, Caceres is still a yellow. So, I mean, I'm going to take Ricardo Bunsen-Burner and I'm going to put him in the. I'm going to put Rampage up there. I'm going to take. Oh, I mean, I guess I'm going to take Fat Lucas, and I mean, nobody really has anything. So I don't want to put Fitz Hall out there. I need Fitz Hall to rest. So I guess just Bowden will be a midfielder since he's supposed to be a striker. Then maybe we'll switch him with Beefstock. Ugh. This is not an attractive lineup, friends. They're just so tired. People keep telling me not to hit the, oh boy. Fitz Hall? Fitz Hall! Fitz Hall? No! I mean, that was just stupidity on my part. I'm embarrassed. That's the kind of mistake that we can't make tomorrow against Manchester City. We can't make that mistake tomorrow against Manchester City. I mean, you got to realize that the Swoodly Poopers have taken such pride all year long in their FA Cup performances. It has been such a hard season. You know, it has been so much harder than any of us imagined that it was going to be in the Premier League. The quality of the competition is so much higher than we're used to. And, you know, we, like, 2-0. Our players are exhausted. We just got to keep that guy from getting a hat trick. That'll be a victory at this point. Our players are exhausted. It's just been an absolute grind. And, you know, and we've reached a point in the season where this is our season. This is our opportunity to do something really special, something that's never been done in the history of the game, is to have a team like Swindon Town not win the FA Cup once, but to win it twice in 2 seasons. It would just be ridiculous. I mean, it would be. I bet it would be the greatest you've got to say it's the greatest underdog story in the history of sports. I don't want to overstate it, but I think you have to say that. At some point, like, it's got to be, if we can win that game, it's got to be the greatest underdog performance anyone's ever seen, period. Forget the Miracle on Ice. It's like if the Miracle on Ice happened in consecutive seasons. That's what it's like. Oh, that was not good defense there. Ramsden, you won't be starting. We really need more players. The other reason I want to win the FA Cup is it means like $1 million with which we can buy a player. At this point, I wish I'd understood how taxing a season in the Premier League would be, because I would have acquired more players in our transfer window instead of just focusing on getting good players. I would have focused on getting like a lot of players. So I mean, my management hasn't been the greatest, and they know that. You know, I had a frank conversation. Oh boy, I had a frank conversation with the guys a couple days ago, right before a previous game starting both goalkeepers, and I said, you know, obviously when you have to start your goalkeepers in midfield, something hasn't gone right with your club, and I took full responsibility for that. You know, I said, I understand that you guys are tired, and it's certainly not your fault that you're tired. You've been asked to play, you know, an extraordinary amount, certainly way more than anyone else in the Premier League has played. I mean, these guys, the guys who are regular starters on our team have played more minutes than anyone else in the Premier League. I'm quite sure of that. So, and I made it clear to them that, you know, I get that, and I'm going to be a better manager next season, because it was my first season in the Premier League too. You know, just as they didn't really know what they were getting into, neither did I. I didn't know how hard this was going to be. And you know, because we are a team and we do play together, they were really understanding of that. You know, they know I haven't been the perfect manager. They know they haven't been the perfect players, but we need to come together for 90 magical minutes in Wembley tomorrow, and I believe that we're going to do that. You know, we've got our captain, John Green. We've got his husband, John Green. And we've got all these guys, too. We've got Ricardo Bunsen-Burner. He'll be back in goal. He'll be feeling good to be back in goal. He doesn't belong out here. You know what? Celebrate all you want, Aston Villa, but we're going to the FA Cup final tomorrow. We'll see you then. Best wishes.